Hey friends, let's chat about using a content calendar to stay organized and on track with your content strategy and overall content planning process. Here's a question that I came across inside a Slack group that I'm a member of. Does anyone use software like Later to schedule your social media posts? I find it very distracting to do it each day. I'd love to get it scheduled ahead. And I thought, yes, this is exactly what many of us feel when it comes to our social media content creation and planning in general. The truth is, daily social media posting without a plan is exhausting. And it's one of the biggest reasons wellness coaches fall behind with their content between client work, managing your household, and everything it takes to run a business. Content and planning can quickly become overwhelming. That's why I want to talk about a simple solution that can change everything using a content calendar with intentional content formats to stay ahead of your content marketing efforts. If you've ever felt stretched too thin or found yourself scrambling to post something, anything, just to stay visible, friend, this episode is for you, especially if you know you've been called to this work and want to show up consistently without burning up. Because when you create a simple content strategy that works for your life, everything gets lighter and more intentional. Your calling deserves a plan. Here's the thing. I'm guessing you didn't start your business because you wanted to play the Instagram algorithm game. You started it because God put something on your heart, something you couldn't ignore. You've walked through your own health journey. You've studied, you've prayed, you've worked hard to build something meaningful, and now you're helping other women heal naturally and take ownership of their health through functional medicine, holistic wellness, or lifestyle coaching that actually works for them. That calling, it matters. However, without a plan for consistently sharing that message, your content marketing strategy can quickly become a source of stress. And friend, I've learned that stress is not from God. Whenever I'm feeling worried, stressed, or anxious, I remind myself that those feelings are not from Him. He's a God of peace and order. And that's exactly where content and planning come in. When you have a system, a calendar, a workflow, a rhythm, you're not just organizing your content channels, you're also aligning with your business goals. You're freeing up your mental energy so you can show up fully for your clients, your family, and your own well-being. So if you've been feeling scattered or behind when it comes to your content, you're not failing, friend. You're just missing a solid plan that supports your calling. And I promise it can be simple. Why consistent content feels so hard, even when you know it matters. Let's just name it. Content and planning aren't always the problem. It's finding time in your schedule to actually do it consistently that trips up most wellness coaches. And it makes sense because depending on how often you're publishing blog posts, sharing social media content, releasing a podcast, and managing your other content types, it can feel like a full-time job. You're giving so much of yourself to your clients and your family that when it's time to create content, there's just nothing left. And you may be pushing out content, but is it the right content at the right time to actually connect with your target audience? You know the value of showing up regularly. You want to build trust, educate, and lead with your message, but without an intentional content strategy, everything becomes reactive. You post just to post, or you don't post at all, and then comes the guilt and frustration. And here's the truth. Consistency doesn't come from working hard. It comes from having a strategic plan that works with your life and your capacity and your business objectives. That's why content and planning go hand in hand. When you map things out ahead of time and create a system around your content calendar, you're not just batching to get ahead, you're creating a sustainable rhythm, one that reduces your stress, supports your content marketing goals, and allows you to stay in your lane with confidence. Whether you're managing a team or flying solo, building an effective content plan helps keep your content marketing efforts focused and aligned with the deeper mission behind your work. So, what a content calendar actually does for you. A content calendar isn't just about being perfect or showing up everywhere. It's about bringing clarity and peace to your week and making sure your content strategy stays aligned with your business goals. Here's what a well-planned content calendar can do for you, friend. It removes the pressure to post every day from scratch. See what content already exists and how to repurpose content you've forgotten about. Stop overthinking and start executing with confidence. And schedule the right content at the right time across those different content channels. That matters most to your target audience. It also supports your content marketing efforts across social media platforms, blogs, and your podcast, whether you're managing things solo or collaborating with team members. Lastly, this is how you take all of those YouTube episodes, blog posts, podcast recordings, and saved ideas and finally turn them into a system that works. It's not about doing more, it's about doing it better and making space for rest, family, and the life God called you to live. Rotating through content formats to keep things simple and strategic. So let's talk about something that makes all of this even easier. Content formats, or I also like to refer to them as formulas. One of the best ways to simplify your content creation process is to rotate through a set of 4 to 12 different content formats. These aren't just templates, they're prompts you can use again and again across platforms to share your message with intention. For example, you can create formats for blog posts. They can be educational, personal stories, tutorials, case studies. You can create formats for your podcast episodes. They can be interviews, teachings, Q&A, behind the scenes. Social media posts can have something like a hook and truth, a myth busting, a how-to, encouragement, your testimonials, your POV, your point of view. Those are always great to also have in that arsenal of your formats or formulas. And if you're still stuck, here are a few format ideas for you. 3 things I wish I knew before. This is great for a blog or a podcast. The truth is, the next one, the truth no one tells you about. Use this on your social media or in an email. 3rd, if you're doing this, you're wasting your time. This is a great pattern interrupt to re-engage your audience. And 4th is what finally worked for me after struggling for years. And this is your personal story and a call to action. Rotating through these different content types builds brand awareness, it increases engagement, and it keeps your organic content rooted in trust, not trends. You don't need to create new content every week. You just need to rotate your formats and speak directly to your audience's pain points and reuse your strongest ideas across various channels. So how to create a content calendar. Creating a content calendar doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler it is, the more likely you'll stick with it. And that's what matters most. If you're in a season where it's just you behind the scenes, start with what you already have: a notebook, a Google account, or even that monthly layout in your planner. This is a little side note, but if you're ever in need of ideas on how to use a planner for content planning, head over to the YouTube channel for Laurel Denise. Planner, I think it's just Laurel Denise, Laurel Denise, Denise. If you probably got it close, you'd probably get there as well. But ton of different ideas on how you can lay out your content plan inside her planner. And you could probably use it with any planner, but it's specifically for hers. When you're ready to take it further, or if you're collaborating with a team, consider a project management tool like Asana, Trello, ClickUp. These help you map out your publishing schedule. Organize your tasks and see everything in one place. Here are a few things your content calendar should include. Your core platforms, so your blog, your podcast, social media, YouTube, whatever that is. The deadlines and the publishing dates. It should include the type of content you're sharing, the tutorial, the story, the encouragement, etc. Those formats or formulas that we talked about. Repurposing notes, like where else can this piece of content be used? The team assignment. So if you're not the one doing it all yourself, who will be the one to complete this task? Use your calendar to batch your ideas and align your marketing goals and schedule content when it makes the most sense for your life, not just your algorithm. And here's something I say often. Just because something worked in the past does not mean it's still the best way. I used to create a ton of video content for YouTube, but to record a video, you need to have good lighting, the right energy, and time when your house is actually quiet, which doesn't always happen. These days, I record podcast episodes in my comfy clothes, usually with a ponytail and no makeup, no pressure. I can repurpose those audios into blog content, which is something that I do. I SEO, make sure that my content podcast episode is SEO optimized for my blog. And I make sure to put in FAQs when possible or how-to sections like this one has so that AI can pick it up as well. That content is also repurposed into my emails and my social media posts without that added production. That's the beauty of having a content strategy that's flexible. It adjusts with your life instead of fighting against it, friend. So ask yourself, where are you already showing up that feels easiest? What format do you enjoy the most? And what's the best way for you to stay consistent right now? Start your content calendar around that and build from there. How to use your project management software. Let's be real, managing all the moving parts of your content can feel like a full-time job. That's where a project management software tool becomes your very best friend. If you've ever forgotten a post, missed a podcast deadline, or rewritten the same caption 5 times in different Google Docs, it's time to simplify your content operations. There are a ton of great tools out there. Trello, Asana is the one that we use in my business. ClickUp, Teamwork, MeisterTask, and Monday.com, just to name a few. The truth is, project management tools are not one size fits all. You may need to test a few out before one clicks with the way you work. And here's just another side note. If you find that you're not using the project management tool that you selected, it may not be the right tool for you. And here's what a good content workflow might look like inside one of those tools. Brain dump your content ideas at the start of the month. Next, assign tasks and due dates for each type of content. Add labels or tags to keep track of where each piece of content is in the process. And friend, don't be scared to experiment with this. You could have things like writing, reviewing, scheduling. You need to make sure it works for you. And include a repurposing checklist so nothing falls through the cracks. And friend, don't forget to put in a line to track your metrics. Keep all your links, graphics, and notes in one place inside that card. So whether you're a team of one or you're starting to delegate, this is how you shift from chaos to clarity. And one extra tip too, make sure you start yourself a link library. So a spreadsheet, I use Notion. It's a doc that has every single one of my links that are used in my business. Everything, every link that's used goes into that doc. If you've been trying to piece together across notes, calendars, and email threads, you're probably spending more time planning content than actually publishing it. This is where I step in for a lot of my clients. During a 60-minute mini session, I help you choose the right tool, map out a simple system, and make sure it fits with your business goals and your current capacity that you have. I'll go ahead and put the link to that down below. And I believe I have a podcast episode where I'm walking somebody through a mini session. So I will try and find that link as well and put it down below in the show notes. Because the best content planning tools are the ones, remember, that you actually use. How to stay consistent and on track. So let's talk about staying consistent, not just for a week or two, but long enough to actually see the momentum in your content marketing plan. The key, be honest about your time and capacity. Like, how much original organic content can you realistically create right now? Not what you dream about creating, not what you hope about creating, but what you realistically can create right now. If you only have a few hours a week, then you need a strategic content system that supports that. Whether you're working alone or with help, your content strategy should reflect your real life, not just your goals. And here's what I've learned of the hard way. The worst thing you can do is overcommit, burn out, and stop altogether. That's not sustainable, and it doesn't help you build trust or grow your brand awareness. I stopped for like a year, maybe a year and a half, just saying. Instead, focus on valuable content that's thoughtful, intentional, and aligned with your target audience and what they need. And here are a few best practices to help you stay consistent. Plan 1 month ahead using your content calendar. Keep a running list of usable content ideas. Hint, your podcast and blog archives are gold, friends. Batch similar tasks like writing or editing if that's how you work for the best flow. Use a project management tool to track what's done and what still needs your attention. You don't want to have to rely on your brain to think about all the things that you've already done or what needs to happen. Don't overthink it. Repurpose what already works. And remember, your content marketing strategy doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be clear, doable, and focused on your business goals. This is where using a content calendar and project management software together really shines. When you map it out and follow a rhythm, you stop second guessing yourself. You stop spinning your wheels. You get focused and you stay that way. So what's your next move, friend? Maybe it's mapping out your blog content plan. Perhaps it's outlining your next few podcast episodes. Maybe it's finally putting your old videos and blog posts to work and choosing the best way to share them again. Whatever it is, make sure your plan reflects what matters most: your message, your time, and your peace. Okay, friends, it's time to wrap this up. Here's what I want you to remember. You don't need to create more content. You need a plan that helps you stay focused, consistent, and aligned with the work God called you to do. When you have a simple system in place, a content calendar, a few repeatable formats, and a project management tool that actually works for you, everything gets easier. You stop scrambling, you stop second guessing, and you start showing up with purpose. If you're not sure where to begin, I'd love to help you figure it out. Book a content system session, a 60-minute mini session to walk through the best project management setup for your online content marketing system. I'll help you choose the right tool and give you a plug and play template to get you started. Whether you're just getting your content organized or you've been at this for years and you need a reset, this is a practical first step that will support your message and simplify your process. You can grab all the details and book your session. I'll put the link down below in the show notes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for listening all the way to the end of this episode. Thank you for your time. It means the world to me. I appreciate you, and I hope you make it a wonderful week. Yay! Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you found this episode valuable and learned some actionable tips that you can implement in your business so that you can feel accomplished and less stressed. If you enjoyed this show, please take a quick minute to share this with your business bestie, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps me reach more business owners just like you. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future episodes, please reach out to me on my website. I've created a form just for you. Remember, with the right system and mindset, you can achieve the success your heart desires. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to chatting with you next time. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. And don't forget, let's grow, friends.